for the revolution.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I want to thank you if you're tuning in. I'm your host, Paco, and you're listening to Occupy the Media. Don't forget, Ron Paul is coming to, NorCal State or UC Davis. I'll pull it back up here on the website because I'm going to actually go see Ron Paul today, so that's great. Can't wait for that. And if you're out there, you need to check him out. He's going to be in San Diego on Friday at 7 p.m. And he will be at University of California Warren Mall on the north side of the Warren Lecture Hall. Today is going to be at Cal State Fullerton Town Hall at 7 p.m. Join LA Liberty HQ on Facebook, LA Liberty HQ, if you want more information, if you want to help volunteer and get involved. And let's see what else is going on. We had a couple of headlines. Now, we were talking about before the break, Chicago hospitals perform radioactive dirty bomb attack drills. So we had a little news clip about that. That hit the news. I think just someone put it up here yesterday, Fox News Chicago. So let's go ahead and play that for you real quick.
Hospitals are preparing for a worst-case scenario during next month's NATO summit. At least 10 hospitals performed drills simulating a radioactive dirty bomb explosion. The victims, volunteers from the U.S. Navy's Great Lakes Training Center. Here is political editor Mike Flannery with this exclusive report.
We want to make sure that as we're getting close to the NATO summit that our staff are ready and trained and able to take care of our community.
So that's why an estimated 500 medical professionals and other volunteers held drills like this at 10 North Suburban hospitals yesterday, including Evanston Hospital. They donned bulky protective suits, tested radiation detectors, and ministered to about 100 U.S. Navy recruits. They were posing as victims of a so-called dirty bomb that had exploded, leaving their skin covered with deadly radioactive cesium. Doctors and nurses would have risked their own lives if they had begun treating the wounded before they were cleansed of radiation. One thing everyone learned yesterday is that the work is sweaty hard, and those suits become steamy hot.
Certainly, it is hot inside of them, but we do have plans in place so that we kind of rotate the staff through so they are in those suits for a fixed period of time, usually 20 or 30 minutes, and then we have a new set of staff that come through and take their place.
Dr. Temple said yesterday's dirty bomb scenario had been worked out in conjunction with the Secret Service and the Federal Department of Homeland Security. U.S. authorities are also preparing in the days ahead to deploy black-suited federal agents in and around downtown's federal buildings. They'll set up checkpoints at entrances to the zone and at individual buildings. From there to the hospitals that are getting ready, including Evanston, where a young intern tried on a protective hood this evening, the watchword is be prepared.
If something does happen, God forbid, we'll be ready to do something about it.
Federal authorities said there is no specific credible threat of an attack inside the United States, but they did add a new note of urgency today, warning that a so-called lone wolf terrorist could try to mark the first anniversary next week of the killing of Osama bin Laden. Robin?
All right, thank you, Mike. And one more reminder, the NATO summit is Sunday, May 20th, and Monday, May 21st. Could also be some action on Friday, May 18th, and May 19th, 18th. Fox Chicago is the place for continuing coverage as the city prepares.
So, more fear over the airwaves, to be scared. Might be another act of terrorism, but there's no legitimate, threat. But they still going to be going through all this, performing radioactive dirty bomb attack drills. I mean, this is just crazy, out of control. Who knows what's going to go down in Chicago? It's probably going to get out of control, get crazy. Have people down there smashing things, breaking things. The government infiltrating like they usually do, causing problems so that way they can paint everybody as crazy lunatics or crazy terrorists, whatever you want to call us. Now, coming up in the next hour, I'm going to play this little clip from Massachusetts Live talking about Mitt Romney's problem with his delegates at Massachusetts, so that should be real interesting. I haven't even heard the whole thing through yet. And let's see, what other headlines did we have? Yeah, this is crazy. So Alabama Police Department didn't know that they had drones. Now, last week I was reporting about the list that came out that basically listed everyone who had drones. And I guess he heard the same list or saw the same list, and that's how he found out that his police department has a drone. Now, the crazy thing about it is he doesn't know why they have a drone. And I think it says here somewhere along the line about how much it actually cost them. Waiting to pull that up here real quick. Okay, so let's see here. Alabama police chief says he recently discovered that his department had 2 unmanned aerial vehicles. Let's see here. Crane, who was named police chief in February, says he doesn't know why they were purchased. The cost was about $150,000 paid through a federal law enforcement grant. Crane says the department's UAVs, which have video surveillance capability, haven't been used because there hasn't been a need for them. So it tells you something. Who's really in control? What's going on? You don't even know that you guys have them? I don't know what's going on with that. A sheriff deputy pleads no contest. Got caught bringing in drugs into jail with hiding them in burritos. So hiding drugs in burritos, that's how he's getting them in jail. Continue the drug war, lock you up, and then you can get drugs while you're in jail. Makes no sense. In Pakistan, anger and doubts a year after Osama bin Laden raid. Now this is real interesting. This is at the usatoday.com, speaking with locals around the area that bin Laden was supposedly killed. And a lot of them don't buy it. You know, some of them are saying they're glad that he's gone, and others saying they don't believe it. One man says there were 2 brothers living there. They used to pray 5 times a day. They were good people who were killed. You know, now, if we can't take that as credibility, why are we going to take Obama's word as credibility? Why are we going to take anybody's word as credibility? There should be facts and evidence and proof of what went down. But no videos, no pictures, nothing. We dumped his body in the ocean. You know, instead of getting information out of him like supposedly he's supposed to know, you know, be the top leader, most wanted. It's a joke. It's a joke, man. But and Obama supporters need to stop bragging about that. So there ain't nothing cool about just running into another country and just unloading on people who have no guns and murdering people. Some good news. Florida governor rejects RNC gun control, so they're trying to keep people from, you know, being able to have their Second Amendment rights in Tampa. But the governor has, I guess, shut that down. He said that Republican will strongly reject Tampa Democratic Mayor Bob Buckhorn's request to prohibit guns. Citing the Second Amendment, the governor says in a letter he will send later this morning that it is unclear how disarming law-abiding citizens would better protect them from the dangers and threats posed by those who would flout the law. That's right. It isn't going to help us. That's why they're trying to take this Trayvon case to take our rights away. You know, if Zimmerman did something wrong, you know, that's his fault. Don't take it on everybody else who's following the laws and not following no one or breaking any rules. Why we got to have our guns taken away? Why we got to have our Second Amendment rights taken away? And then people are really going to get killed even more. And I reported the other day that a man with a gun actually stopped someone from going on a stabbing spree, I think it was, stabbing a bunch of people up. I'd have to look that back up. But you guys can find that on Google somewhere. Another interesting story hit Fox News Insider today. A government employee was stopped yesterday in Newark Airport after landmines, yes, landmines were found in her luggage. The employee told officials she was going to use them in a special forces training exercise in California. It's getting crazier and crazier, y'all. What else are they going to start bringing through? They're already aiding the terrorists, FBI. Okay. Guys, check out this article. I didn't get to read much of it. South Carolina prepares for United Nations takeover. Looks like there's a lot of good info in there. Oh, man. United Nations. What else? Red Cross. Speaking of the summit as well, Red Cross prepares Chicago for mass exodus during NATO summit. Google cars snooping on Wi-Fi